This is the plaintiff, Barry Johnson. He says he has issues with his neighbor, the defendant, and the guy purposely parked his truck blocking him from walking to his mailbox, and he was badly injured. That's right, his pants got caught on the defendant's bumper. He fell down hard and badly hurt his knee. The defendant must be taught his actions have consequences, and he's here suing him for the $10,000 he surely owed for pain and suffering. This is the defendant, Terrence. He says he has a Ring doorbell camera, and the plaintiff deliberately threw himself down pretending to injure himself. This guy's a con man. He thinks the judge will see right through it and isn't paying him a penny. He's accused of feuding with a neighbor. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,000 for harassment and punitive damages.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says that his pant leg got caught on the bumper of the defendant's truck because the truck was blocking his mailbox and he fell down and injured himself, so he's suing. But the defendant says his wacky neighbor deliberately fell down and he has it on camera. It's the case of special delivery.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're very welcome.
Mr. Johnson, you are suing your neighbor, Mr. Terrence, for $10,000 in pain and suffering because, according to you, actions on his part caused you to hurt yourself. You got a counterclaim against him for $3,000 for harassment and punitive damages. Let me talk to you first, Mr. Johnson. What happened?
Well, as I was going to my mailbox, the way he had his truck parked, I have to go in between the truck to get to my mailbox. As I reached from to the mailbox, my pants got caught on his truck, and it slung me to the ground, and I hit my knee, and I just had my knee replaced not long ago. And also, I had both my hips replaced, so I'm very fragile. So my neighbor next door seen it when it happened, and he came to my aid and waited there until the ambulance came and took me to the hospital.
And what did they do to you at the hospital?
They took x-rays, found out it was bruised, and they gave me pain medication and also referred me to go to my doctor, which I did. And I wound up having to wear a brace for 2.5 months. And sometimes I still have to wear it.
Okay, can I ask you, what is the relationship between you two? Are you neighbors or you have the same landlord and you're in different parts of a duplex?
Right. I live in the back house.
And then he lives in the front?
He lives in the front, yes.
All right, and who has the parking space?
He does, in the driveway. He has a truck in the backyard. He has a truck that he parks in the driveway, and he also has another truck. He parks in front of the house sometimes, which normally is my parking space because that's the only thing I have. He's got the whole yard with supplies in it because he's a contractor. So the backyard looks like a company. And early in the morning sometimes, he wakes me up early along with the dog. It wakes me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, hard to sleep.
What kind of dog does he have?
A pit bull. He wanted me to get to know the dog. That's when we didn't see eye to eye because I had planned on getting a puppy, but I was waiting on my injuries, my surgery to get better to even reach down to play with the puppy. I couldn't do it at this particular time. So the landlord told me that he was talking about getting a dog. So he asked me, I said, yeah, well, I was planning on getting one. But then when he did get a dog, he got a dog, but he got a grown pit bull. And he wanted me to get to know it. I'm not going to get to know nobody's pit bull. And he's big and vicious looking. So we had a problem with that,
So did you ever talk to your neighbor and just tell him, look, I'm happy for you. You got a dog. I wanted a dog, too. We both have permission to have a dog, but I'm afraid of your pit bull. Did you just ever tell him I'm not?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Was he insulted about it?
Yes, he was. And on one occasion, he came back to my back porch door and banged on it, and he called my mother a and also...
Wait, why? Wait. Why is he calling your mother a...
Well, he did that. I wasn't able to video that part, but I was able to video when he banged on my door and said he was going to kick my ass. Simple as that. And I said, man, what? And then we argued.
Did you submit that video?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
So you gonna kick my ass? You don't know? Come on. I'm coming to hit you. Yeah, well, why you coming to my door? Slamming at my door. Yeah, you disrespect me. You said you gonna have my car towed. I ain't gonna have it towed. Yeah, well, have it towed. I told you to move she was too. Yeah.
Are you sure you want me to hear this? You actually had other problems with him as well, right?
Yes, parking.
Was he paying for the parking? In other words, the landlord gave him the parking. I assume he was paying for it.
Yes, he has rights to the driveway. I don't park in the driveway whatsoever.
Right. So when you say he even parks a third truck in the street and that's my parking, you mean you're talking about the communal parking on the street that's everybody's parking.
Right. Well, it is everybody's parking.
Right.
But sometimes he would race. See, I live in a back house. I can't see when the street cleaners stop and you can move your cars. So I go to move my car back on the other side of the street where I normally park at. He runs out of his house and he goes to his truck and he beats me to the spot, you know. And knowing that and plus at one time I was walking with a walker, you know, because of my injury. I had both my hips replaced now. Now my knee was replaced not long ago.
How long ago did you get your hips replaced?
About 5 years ago, but I had both of them
And then the
done
knee
at the same
replacement
year.
that you just had, that was when?
About 5-6 months ago. And also, so the part with this situation was, I asked him to move back his truck just a little bit so I'd be able to park my car, and he wouldn't do it.
What do you think was the problem? Is the problem the dog?
Of course it's a dog.
Why? Because the dog is barking too much and bothering him?
Yes, I guess so. But the dog is in a new environment. Okay, we just got the dog. I walk the dog every single day to try to get him used to being out and not so confined. So, right. I mean, he filed a complaint with the city. I mean, he's doing his due diligence, and he filed a complaint with the city against a noise ordinance. I got a letter.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm trying to work with the dog. Okay, but that's no reason for somebody to get uncivil.
And how did he get uncivil? Besides what I saw in the video.
Okay. He sent me texts calling me all kind of damn fools and all kind of profanity that I won't say on television, you know. So yeah, I confronted him. I'm like, man, why you have to get uncivil? Why you have to talk to me like that? That's disrespectful. That was the night in question, that the video that he showed you. You know, and you can see, I'm telling you, I would never hit a 70-year-old man. That's what I'm saying. But I don't like the fact that he talked to me and called me all kind of disrespectful names, derogatory names. It's not called for.
So I'm going to look at the video now of the injury that he says is worth $10,000. But first, I want to ask you a question. You have a counterclaim against him for $3,000 for harassment and punitive damages. What is that for?
Well, the man, he's going around the neighborhood. The neighbors to the left. And he's trying to get people to file lawsuits against me.
For what?
He's trying to okay, the trash cans that he claimed to have poop in them, I recently started putting them there. And for some reason, he don't like the vicinity of the trash cans. And he told the people next door to file a complaint with the city about the trash cans.
How do you know that?
But they told me, because I spoke with the lady next door. She said this man is always coming to them, complaining against me, telling them his problems and trying to get them on board to join in and file a lawsuit against me and go down to the city and complain about anything.
What does the landlord say about all this? Like, have you ever tried to involve the landlord, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I told him that it's not right. The ladies next door, is two sisters. They cannot open up their windows on the side of their house.
I don't want to hear you complain on behalf of two people who aren't here. I'm asking you if you've complained on your own behalf to the landlord.
Yes, I told him about it, and he said he'd deal with him, you know. And I said I don't have nothing. As far as the parking, we settled all that but I didn't call no police on nobody or nothing. And I talked to the neighbor next door. She the one told me they can't open up their windows because of that trash can there.
Well, they have remedies. If that's true, they could call the zoning department. They could do 1,000 different things, but that's up to them. All right, so so let's talk about. Other than that, other than talking to neighbors, what else is the reason for the harassment? According to you, he leaves the door open to the backyard so your dog will escape?
Yes, he left the door open, so I'd be extra careful now because he left the gate open, and my dog was new to the environment. So if he get past me, because he's in a little corral in the back, so when I open that gate, if he gets past me, he can run straight out of out of the compound. But if that gate is closed, he can't get out.
Well,
But
then
this
just
man
make
walk-
sure the gate is closed every time when you walk into
yeah,
the corral.
I do that. I
Okay.
do that now. He haven't been getting
Okay.
out. But when I first initially got there, I had to learn to do that.
Yeah.
But he would keep the door open, and I would speak to him about it, and he would say, "I don't care. He don't. That's not my responsibility."
That
Which
is
he's
not
right.
true.
All right.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you about this injury that brings you to court here today, Mr. Johnson. According to you, what was it that happened?
My pants leg got caught on the back bumper part, which is, you can see in the pictures, it's damaged, and it grabbed my pants. And as I reached out to go to my mailbox, it snagged it, and all of a sudden, I fell to the ground. I hit on my left side, which I had my knee replaced.
All right. So this is your Ring doorbell, and according to you, it got it all on tape, correct?
Yeah. He didn't come in contact with my truck.
Oh, damn. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh.
Mr. Johnson, it looks as though you're actually throwing yourself in order to manufacture a lawsuit, to be honest with you.
No. My pants leg got caught on
I'm going to look at it again.
It tore my pants. Oh, damn. I got proof of the pants.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But I'm looking to see how it even gets caught. I don't see anything caught, and I see you falling on your right side. Okay, then. When did you end up going to the hospital?
The ambulance took me to the hospital. But I went and seen the guy that operated on the doctor that operated on my leg, and they looked at the bruise and gave me a brace to wear.
And according to you, Mr. Terrence, you have video of him moving just fine many times thereafter, correct? For example,
after, Your
this,
Honor.
according to you, is the day after the fall. Is that him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes, that's him.
I'm walking with a cane.
You're walking pretty fast with a cane. And then this is a few hours after the fall.
Exactly.
That's
Why would
not
you-
the same.
Why would you go out
that's
the
not a
same
few
way?
hours. That's not the same day because I had different pants on.
Darling, I have the date and time down here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got
Thank
a
you.
brace. I got a brace on my leg.
The camera
How's
don't
I
lie.
supposed to go?
No, the cameras don't
I-
lie. The cameras don't lie.
I don't walk on other people's grass.
All right.
No way.
I'm going to say a few things, and then I'm going to rule. A person's home is their castle. It should be where they feel the safest, where they feel the most content and happy. I cannot imagine, Mr. Johnson, that you are happy with this situation. And I cannot imagine, Mr. Terrence, that you are happy with this situation. Because it can't make either one of you happy. Neither one of you have any peace. I think that the two of you should try to find a neutral third party that might help you two to resolve your neighbor-neighbor differences. And I can't imagine that a city like Los Angeles does not have a neighbor dispute resolution type of agency. I am sure that they do. And I think the two of you would benefit from something like that, where you can try to find some common ground where each of you can respect and understand the rights of the other person. He has a right to have a dog, even if the dog's a pit bull. That is his right, because you asked to have a dog too. So both of you, the landlord gave both of you a right to have a dog with no restriction on what kind of dog that is. So unless that dog has done something vicious, then you don't have a right to complain. If the dog is barking too much, there's an avenue for you to complain with an excessive noise violation. And then you'll have a hearing in the appropriate court on that issue, and that's fine. You have to understand that he has that right. But you have to understand, Mr. Johnson, that you do not control where people park anywhere, because you don't have a reserved parking space. And a lot of what has happened is over the parking space. He has backed up all the way because he has a dually, and he can't block the sidewalk or he'll get a ticket. So you have a mailbox that you can very easily reach into and take your stuff and then walk on the other side. But you chose that day to walk right where you shouldn't be walking when you had just had knee surgery, and then all of a sudden I see you go flying on your right knee, which you should be taking care of anyway. And it's kind of suspicious looking, I gotta be honest with you. It looks a little staged. Under no circumstances, based on the video of you walking that day, which I know because it's time-stamped, okay, under no circumstances would this be a $10,000 injury, even if it was his fault, and it wasn't his fault because his dually wasn't moving. His truck is stationary. You're the guy who's moving. So his truck didn't come at you and cause you to fall. You decide to squeeze in a place with, oh, Judge, you should see his bumpers, and then you're doing it again the next day, and you're doing it again the next hours. Come on, Mr. Johnson. But I cannot imagine that you guys enjoy living like this. Stop it. Stop it. Why don't the two of you go to a neighbor dispute resolution board and try to sit down like gentlemen and get your problems resolved? And then maybe you'll get a little space to park and you'll get a little space for your dog. And then both of you can try to have normal, peaceful lives where neighbors say hi and bye to each other, right? Like the rest of us. But based on the evidence in front of me, I am ruling against you, Mr. Johnson, on your $10,000 personal injury claim. And on your claim for harassment and punitive damages, I'm also going to rule against you, Mr. Terrence. And I wish you both peace at home.
So in this case of this war against the neighbors, it's a 0-0 tie. Let's start with you, Mr. Johnson. You, the judge gave you some very good advice, suggests you try and live with your neighbor, do something, mediate a peaceful workout, whatever. What do you think? You lost.
Well, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I find it not happy to live there because the dog wakes me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, all through the night, day. It's impossible to live with that. You know, it's can't do it. You know.
Well, good luck to you. I don't know how you're going to do it, but good luck to you, Terrence. Let me ask you how you feel about it. You lost your lawsuit. You know that. But what about the future here between the two of you?
Well, I really don't know, sir. You know, the dog barks. I admit that, but all dogs bark. You know, it's something that I'm working on and something that he's got to get used to. You know.
Well, you know, it sounds like you might be back here again in the future if you don't do something to work out some kind of peaceful solution between the two of you. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. It's, again, neither one of you win your lawsuits, and I don't know if you're going to follow the judge's advice or not. So good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Harvey, what are your thoughts on this case? What do you think?
Well, Doug, in case you haven't noticed, welcome to a whole new world, because doorbell cams and cell phone videos have changed the game. That everybody has cameras now. You can't go down the street without being caught on camera by somebody or something. That is simply the reality. So you got to think about that. If you're making up a case, you may have been able to do it 30 years ago, but today, if it's something that's visual, it is a whole different matter. And if you lie in court, it can get you in a heap of trouble.
Judge Milian, I can only imagine that you see a lot of not so good behavior of our culture. What do you do to continually renew your faith in humanity?
Oh.
Has it been renewed?
There's an assumption there. There is an underlying assumption there that look, I think people are generally good. Yeah. I think that good people behave very badly when their interests are at stake.
Right.
But I guess when I'm feeling kind of blue about humanity, I just kind of count my blessings and realize the people I'm surrounded by and my good fortune, that they are the people I'm surrounded by.
Gotcha. I'm a little more cynical than you. I'm not sure. I think people act in their own rational self-interest most of the time.
All the time, but they just really behave badly if money's involved.
When I need to restore my faith in humanity, I go to the mountains in western North Carolina, where everybody's so nice
Specifically to the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles over there.
Exactly. Because, you know, most people, when they go to those places, it's an absolute
You
nightmare.
want to kill yourself if you're going to one of those in Miami.
You got to bring a cyanide pill in your lapel, just
There's
bite it to
1,000
kill
people,
yourself.
a super long line, but you go in North Carolina and
my
there's
God.
no one there.
Yeah,
Everybody's super friendly.
Unbelievable. They can't wait to help you. Oh, I see.
Sometimes you don't even have business there, and you go.
Stop in. They'll say, well, I see that you're late with the registration. There's a fine here. Let me see if there's some way I can waive that. I don't want to walk away from the window when she's done. Thank you. So, yeah, that restores my faith in humanity every time.